Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Dolapo from Tax TV. Just want to ask you a few questions to introduce yourself. Tell us.
My name is Thomas Eze. I'm from Interswitch.
Very nice to meet you, sir. So, quick question. You spoke about data. What do you think Interswitch is putting in place, being a technical advisor and supporter of the Kadiris? What are you putting in place? What are collaborations or mechanisms you're putting in place for keeping data security in terms of cybersecurity and all?
Okay, so I will speak firstly around, as I mentioned at the presentation today, data collection and data analysis and data management. Those are critical aspects of tax management and tax growth and tax intelligence. Part of what we do as Interswitch is we are working with all the various states, particularly in Kaduna as we are here today, to provide platforms, provide services, professional services, technology platforms, solutions, so that each of the states can then benefit of how to use those technologies to achieve everything around data, everything around data analysis. There are things we do around big data and so on. So we provide these services to the various states so that they can then take advantage of those products and services for them to be able to maximize the benefits of it. One of the other things we do around cybersecurity is we are working with the Nigerian Governors Forum to try to build around standardization and framework around cybersecurity for the various states, and then help them manage and provide security around their data, which is very critical for the various states. So there are things we are doing, and we are hoping that we land on those things very soon and be beneficial to all the various states.
So, we're saying that the data of every citizen is safe in the hands of the government.
Well, yes, but of course there are things that we have to do. I mentioned framework earlier. As we speak around the need for us to improve our data management, for us to digitize our various activities, cybersecurity becomes a very critical part. And we are playing a critical role in that. I mentioned earlier things we are doing across the various states. So, well, is it safe today? We have to do a lot of things to make it safe as we move forward. Since we are digitizing more and more, then we have to do more and more work, build framework to make sure that the data that we're gathering continues to remain safe.
We're trusting you to do the needful with the state IRS. Also, we spoke about one of the challenges I think the IRS is going to be facing is to minimize revenue leakage. What are the technological opportunities in place for the state IRS in terms of technology? What are the technological measures in place to prevent revenue leakage?
Well, there are two perspectives of it for me. First, again, it has to start from the taxpayers themselves by ensuring that they use technology, first of all. Again, from the federal level, even at the state level, one of the things I want to do is to make sure that both individual taxpayers and corporate taxpayers are able to capture their own information and then remit those information to the either the states or the federal service. Those data are very important to help us cater for revenue leakages and so on. The next level will now be to deploy technology at the various, states, MDAs, or the federal entity themselves to ensure that they use technology to capture those information, to analyze those information, and then manage and know the necessary revenue that they are expecting across the various tax head or revenue heads, as it were. So, but again, we can't overemphasize the need for us to use technology to cover every aspect of the things we do. That is the critical part. We've seen cases where people do things manually. When they introduce technology, we saw a skyrocket in terms of the percentage of revenue they were doing before. Before they were probably earning like 30 million in revenue, and that has grown by almost like 100% because they've introduced technology to it. So the need to implement technology, platforms, solutions, necessary integrations, necessary collaboration, is really very, very critical to enable and safeguard revenue leakages.
And that's why we're here. Lastly, I know I said two questions, but one last question. What is your advice to an average Nigerian who is scared about technology and its usage? Because we're speaking about technology and we're seeing that everything needs to be as simple as possible for the average Nigerian to understand. What is your advice and what's your piece?
Yeah, well, technology has come to stay, whether you like it or not. I recall many years ago when people struggle to use even just regular phones. Today we see people using smartphones, people that were different, our grandparents, our parents using smartphones. It has come to stay. As an individual, you need to align. As corporates, you need to align. You have to, because that's the next phase. That's where the world is going. So it's critical that we all open up ourselves. Be free, nothing to be scared about. We have to embrace technology. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Once again, it was lovely meeting you.
Thank you so much. Well done. Good job.